Let me just start by asking you a question. Ikaw ba, do you want to live a blessed life? Alam mo, a life of abundance na parating merong sobra. Sinabi ko sa inyo in the past lesson na hindi pera ang nagde-decide kung maganda buhay natin. Kasi marami ng tao who were able to receive a lot of money and yet ikinasira rin nila yung pera nila. Ako naniniwala ako that a blessed life comes from having the opportunity to make money. Isang trabaho that can keep you busy working so that you will be healthy, but opportunities to be able to make money by using what you have already. Sino sa inyo ang gusto ng mas maraming opportunity to be able to make money? I am sure all of you will say yes. Pero meron akong isa pang tanong. Do you feel that sometimes life is unfair? Alam mo, oftentimes you will hear people complain that life is unfair. Feeling nila pinagkaisahan sila ng buhay o hindi man pinagdamutan sila ng Panginoon ng opportunity to be able to live a good life. Alam mo yon, feeling ng ibang tao, pinanganak silang mahirap. So naiinggit sila doon sa iba na pinanganak na mayaman o hindi man feeling nila kaya lang mayaman yung ibang tao is because they were given more opportunities to be able to create wealth or to create money. Have you ever felt that? Na minsan iisip mo, sana no kung nagpalit lang kami ng buhay, kaya ko rin gawin yung ginagawa niya. Is that true? Oftentimes I ask, ano kaya sasabihin ni God when we complain about not having enough opportunity to become wealthy? If you have been watching Breaking Through, I told you already that God has entrusted all of us with possessions and talents na pwede natin pagsimulan. Yet many people complain, Lord, ba't ganun? Ba't mas marami kang binigay sa Kanya? Bakit kulang ang binigay mo sa akin? Pwede ba, Lord, bigay mo rin sa akin kung ano binigay mo sa Kanya? Alam mo, sabihin ni God sa'yo, Anak, paano kita bibigyan ng mas marami? Yung meron ka nga, hindi mo pa inaalagaan. What do I mean? Ako nalulungkot na maraming Pilipino ang nagsasabing mahirap sila, yet meron silang pag-aaring lupain. Kaso, ba't hindi nag-improve yung buhay nila? Kasi marami ang iniwan ang lupa nila para pumunta sa ibang lugar, mag-abroad, o siguro pumunta lang sa Maynila para makipagsapalaran. So ano ang nangyari doon sa lupa na binigay ng Panginoon sa kanila? Wala. And yet many of us say na hindi tayo binigyan ng opportunity ng Panginoon para guminhawa ang buhay. But you may be saying, sa farmers yan eh. That does not apply with me. O hindi ah. Kasi maraming Pilipino ang may trabaho. And yet hindi nila inaayos ang trabaho nila. Most of the time, they complain. Ayaw nila sa boss nila, maliit ang sweldo, pangit ang environment, toxic ang kasama. Ang dami-dami nilang rason bakit sila hindi magkaroon ng mas magandang buhay. Pero I am sure, ikaw, gusto mo ng mas magandang buhay. And I really believe that you want more blessing for yourself. So ang tanong, ano ang kailangan natin gawin para mabiyayaan tayo ng Panginoon ng isang blessed na buhay? In the third lesson of character, I shared with you kung ano ang hinahanap ng Panginoon sa mga taong ipinagkatiwalaan niya ng kanyang possession at saka kanyang talent. In that lesson, we read Matthew 24. Let me just start in verse 45. Sabi diyan, who then is the faithful and sensible slave whom his master put in charge of his household to give them their food at the proper time. Verse 46 continues, blessed is that slave whom his master finds so doing when he comes. And then verse 47 says, truly I say to you that he will put him in charge of all his possession. You know, I like what verse 47 is saying, Sabi niya, ang Panginoon merong hinahanap ng mga tao na gusto niyang bigyan ng authority or ability to be able to take care of more of His possession. God wants to be able to reward all of us. Pero ang tanong, sino ba ang taong bibigyan niya ng mas maraming opportunity to be able to have a good life? Matthew 25:29 says, "For to everyone who has, more shall be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, even what he does have shall be taken away." Sabi ng verse na to, "For to everyone who has, more shall be given." Merong hinahanap ang Panginoon na certain ability sa atin na pag nakita niya yan sa atin, bibigyan niya tayo ng mas marami. More of what? Sabi niya, the person who has, more shall be given. More of what? Let me just go back to Matthew 24:45 to explain ano ang hinahanap ng Panginoon para bigyan niya tayo ng mas maraming opportunity to be able to create more wealth and abundance. Matthew 24:45 says, "Who then is the faithful and sensible slave, whom his master put in charge of his household to give them their food in the proper time?" Two things God is looking for. Naghahanap siya ng tao who is faithful and who is sensible. In the third lesson of character ng Breaking Through, we talk about the idea of being faithful. Pinag-usapan natin gaano ka-importante para sa Panginoon ang taong trustworthy. In this lesson naman, I would like to discuss the need to be sensible. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng to be sensible? To be sensible in Greek is the word prominos. Ang ibig niyang sabihin, to be prudent, to be shrewd, and to be wise. I found another meaning of sensible that is very important kasi gagamitin ko ang meaning na ito throughout the lesson. And to be sensible means to have the capacity to understand the daily things of life. So therefore, being sensible is not being wise in the affairs of the world, but rather to be good in handling the daily issues of life. The other word for sensible is the word prudent. Sabi ng Proverbs 18:15, "The mind of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ears of the wise seeks knowledge." The word prudent means acting with or showing care and thought for the future. Meaning, ang prudent na tao, alam niya kung ano ang gagawin niya today will affect the future. So, a prudent person makes sure na maganda ang ginagawa niya today because that will determine the health of his future. In Hebrew, the word prudent is arum. Ang ibig niyang sabihin is to be shrewd, to be crafty, discerning, and sensible. So magkakabit sila. I want you also to focus on the word crafty. Crafty means sa Tagalog maabilidad. Yung bang minsan parang street smart na alam niya anong gagawin niya sa buhay parate? Sabi ng Proverbs 18:15, "The mind of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ears of the wise seeks knowledge." Knowledge. Knowledge is something very important. And in fact, one of the maxims that many people abide with is this idea that knowledge will give them power. Today, ang dali-dali mag-acquire ng knowledge o maghanap ng information. In fact, even when I was preparing for this message, I would check the internet for definition, I would check AI for additional insights, and today mas madali mag-research because of the internet, we have access to this unlimited amount of knowledge. However, ito ang tanong ko. Bakit ang mga tao, habang mas dumadami ang alam nila, mas dumadami rin ang problema nila? Today, there are more financial teachers helping us to be able to understand how to grow our money. And yet, when we acquire money, we easily lose them. Today, ang daming teaching about entrepreneurship. Karamihan ng mga universities today, malaki man o maliit, meron silang BS Entrepreneurship. And yet, when people graduate and when they start their business, nag-fail. Bakit? Is it possible that we are looking for knowledge in the wrong place? Is there a better source of knowledge and information that will give us assurance of success? To answer this, I would like to suggest Joshua 1:8. And let me just read that for you. Sabi diyan, "This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have success." While this verse talks about people prospering, maraming tao ang ayaw ng sinasabi nito. And it's basically because of this phrase, the book of the law. When you see the word law, what comes to your mind? To many people, pag nakita sila ng word na law, ang niisip nila rules, commandments, regulations. Kaya ayaw nila magbasa ng Bible is because to many of us, we believe it is a book of rules. And ang totoo lang, most people are very uncomfortable with rules kasi feeling nila nalilimit yung pwede nilang gawin because ang daming utos. So, ang ginagawa ng maraming tao, hindi sila magbabasa ng Bible because it's a book of laws. So, sabi nila, mas mabuti nang hindi ko alam yung batas para wala akong navo-violate. Totoo ba yon? You know ako, I have been reading the Bible for the past 25 years, cover to cover, many times already. And I am also a person who do not like rules. Pero why do I read the Bible? Because I discovered that the word law in Joshua 1:8 does not mean rules. Instead, it means instruction. The Hebrew word is Torah, and Torah are not just rules that will limit our action, but rather instructions to guide us to success. Ano ba ang pinagkaiba ng rules and instructions? What happens ba when you violate a rule given by a master? Pag hindi mo inobey yung rule ng master, ano mangyayari? Mapapanish ka. Sino magpapanish sa'yo? Yung master na nagbigay ng rules. On the other hand, what happens when you do not follow instructions? Katulad na lang sa eskwela. Sino sa inyo ang bumagsak sa isang exam because you did not follow the instruction of the teacher? Sino? Nangyari na ba sa inyo yan? Nangyari na sa akin yan. Because I did not follow instruction, I disqualified myself. So, when you do not follow instruction, who punishes you? You. Yun ang pinagkaiba. When we disobey rules, the rule giver will punish us. But when we do not follow instruction, we punish ourselves. And when I realized that the word law in the Bible is Torah in Hebrew and ang ibig niyang sabihin instruction, naintindihan ko na. Naintindihan ko why majority of my life I would always fail. Because I did not follow instruction. But the worst thing is, hindi ko inalam yung instruction kasi hindi ko binasa yung Bible. And that is one of the reason why I read the Bible every day. I am trying to understand the instructions of the one who created the world, who owns this world, and who controls this world. Sabi natin kanina that the definition of being sensible means to have the capacity to understand the daily issues of life. So therefore, sabi ng Joshua 1:8, this book of the law, this book of instruction shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night. I need you to understand the value of meditating. Meditating is not just closing your eyes, being quiet, murmuring a hymn, or saying something you do not understand. Ang pagkaintindi ko ng meditating is to think about the law, and analyzing it so that you can apply it. Para sa akin, yun ang meditation. I study the law, I look at my problem, and try to marry both. Paano ba niya nasusolve yung problema ko? Many times when I apply the things I read in the Bible, my problem do not go away. So, ang ibig lang niyang sabihin, mali ang application ko. So, I meditate on the word again, I look at the problem, and then I try and adjust again until maintindihan ko ang tamang application. However, meditating is not enough because Joshua 1:8 tells us that after meditating, we must be careful to do according to all that is written in it. Friends, I'd like to share an insight with you. An insight that would hopefully explain bakit magulo ang buhay natin today. Today, most people are obsessed with acquiring knowledge. According to this definition, knowledge is information that implies wisdom. Imply pa lang, hindi pa siya wisdom. Ano ang pinagkaiba ng knowledge and wisdom? Sabi ng Hebrew language, wisdom is to have the capacity to understand and so have the skill in living, implying adherence to a set of standard. Sabi niya, wisdom is the ability to apply a set of standard. I've heard many people say that wisdom is to know right from wrong. And I disagree. Kasi para sa akin, wisdom is to do what is right, not wrong. So ito ang problema ng karamihang tao today. We are so obsessed with acquiring knowledge and yet namimili tayo kung ano ang i-apply. Hindi natin ina-apply yung tama. Oftentimes, ina-apply natin yung convenient sa atin. And I'll explain this to you mamaya. Alam mo, I like how Joshua 1:8 ends. Sabi niya, let me just read the whole verse. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have success. Notice, friends, hindi sinabi nung dulo ng Joshua 1:8 that when we follow the book of the law, God will make us prosper. Sabi diyan, you will make your way prosperous and then you will have success. Paano nangyari ito? Let me just explain this in a practical way. Have you ever bought a new appliance? Yung dati mong TV, Sony. Sasabi mo, ayoko na ng Sony, lumang technology yan. So bumili ka ng Samsung TV. Pagdating mo sa bahay mo, pag-unbox mo ng Samsung, dumating yung aso mo, kinagat yung instruction manual, tumakbo, nawala yung instruction manual. So sabi mo, never mind. Meron namang instruction manual yung dati kong TV na Sony. So yun ang ginamit mo na instruction manual. Will it work? Of course not. Pero di ba pareho silang TV, pareho silang LED, pareho silang technology? Will the old manual of your Sony TV work with your new Samsung TV? Hindi. Bakit? Iba manufacturer eh. Iba gumawa, iba instruction. Hindi sila pareho. Di ba? However, if you are able to find the instruction manual of your Samsung TV, kung basahin mo siya, you will have success. Do you need a Samsung technician to come to be able to explain to you how you will use the TV? Of course not. Ang kailangan mo lang, sundin yung instruction and you will be successful. You will enjoy the TV. Ito ang sinasabi ng Joshua 1:8. If you follow the instruction of the one who created the world, the one who controls it, if you meditate on the instruction and act on it carefully, you will have success in everything you do. To be sensible, my friend, is to be able to understand how to deal with the daily issues of life. Gusto mo bang yumaman? Gusto mo ba magkaroon ng maranyang buhay na where you will have abundance? Kung ang sagot mo oo, then how come many times you'd rather be lazy doing nothing than going out and really working in order to make money? How come many people today would borrow money so that they can invest this kasi kala nila lalaki? Kasi gusto nila wala silang ginagawa. Hindi nila naintindihan na yung interest sa utang parating mas malaki sa kikitain nila sa investment. Pero kung nagtrabaho lang sila, wala silang ipinuhunan, may pera sila pagkatapos ng project. If you want to become rich, how come many of you do quiet quitting? Kasi ayaw mo sa boss mo, nalilitan ka sa sweldo mo, sabi mo, why work hard? 'Di ba? They don't deserve my service. Okay ako doon. Pero you will never deserve a higher pay or a better position. Friend, if you are sensible, you will follow the ways of the ant. Sabi ng Proverbs chapter 6 verse 6 to 8, go to the ant, you sluggard. According to the one who wrote the psalm, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provides her meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest. Sabi dito, yung langgam hindi naghihintay sabihan ng amo, magtrabaho ka. Kasi magtratrabaho siya hanggang pwede. Para pagdating ng winter, pag dumating yung calamity, may pagkain siya. According to Proverbs 10:4, poor is he who works with a negligent hand, but the hand of the diligent make rich. I do not understand many people today. Gusto nilang yumaman, pero ayaw nila ng mahirap na trabaho. Gusto nila ng mas malaking sweldo. Pag na-promote sila, magrereklamo sila na mas mahirap na ngayon ang responsibility nila. 'Di ba kaya nga mas malaki yung sweldo kasi mas mahirap ng responsibility? We often complain about the environment we are in. Hindi mo ba alam that your environment forces you to become a better person? Diligence is a picture word. It is a picture of a man panning for gold. Mabuti pa yung taong nagpapan ng gold. He works hard to be able to find gold. Karamihan ng tao ngayon, magsusugal, magbibili ng loto, hoping that they will become rich without doing anything. Uy, ang nagpapan ng gold, masipag, matyaga, masinop, persevering. However, instead of you being diligent, looking for gold, I'd rather that you create gold through your work. Yung ibang tao naghahanap ng ginto. Ba't hindi na lang tayo magtrabaho, gagawa rin tayo ng ginto. Kasi yung sweldong makukuha mo, pangbili ng ginto. Unfortunately, many people believe that the Bible is only a spiritual book. It cannot help us in our daily concern. Friend, that is not true. Let me share with you a wonderful story that happened to us. When I made a commitment to use the Bible as a business book, I made a promise to the Lord that whatever He tells me, I will do, even to the point of resting the soil on the seventh year. Many people believe I was foolish for trying it. Ako naman, I just wanted to try. So in order to apply it with wisdom and being careful, hindi ko pinahinga yung lahat ng lupa namin. There was 1 hectare of land that we were using already for 6 or 7 years. And so I decided ipapahinga ko itong lupa na ito for 1 year. When the land was coming out of its 1 year rest, McDonald's came to us and asked us if we can plant cherry tomatoes. During that year, they introduced a product requiring a cherry tomato and wala silang grower sa Mindanao. When they told me to plant it, I complained. Sabi ko, my land is very bad. Kasi isa yun sa area ng Bukidnon na tinaniman ng kamatis again and again. So nagkaroon siya ng disease na tawag na bacterial wilt. Na all of a sudden, mamamatay yung kamatis. But McDonald's insisted, and as a partner, I have to try it. When we finally harvested, ang ganda ng cherry tomato namin. So I was asking myself, what happened? Bakit kami nakabuhay ng cherry tomato? Then I realized an important fact of farming. There are two ways to kill disease. Isa, lalasunin mo sila. However, in farming, they will tell you dapat magtago ka ng tatlong chemical because organisms adapt. So they mutate. Nasasanay sila. Mamaya hindi na effective yung panglason mo sa kanila. But there is a better way of killing disease. Gutumin mo sila by depriving them of their food because you rested the soil, namamatay lahat ng sakit na nasa lupa na yon. And because of this, today, resting our soil is an integral part of our operation. Kasi bumababa yung cost of operation namin, gumaganda pa yung lupa namin. So friends, I tell you this, never fight against nature because you will never win. So instead of fighting against nature, work with nature. But how will you know how to work with nature if you do not understand nature? I believe the Bible even contains instructions on how to manage the world God created. So if you really want to have a good future, then I say be wise. Be wise by understanding the instructions of the Lord. Let me just end by reading a set of verses that hopefully I will be able to discuss with you in the future. Sabi ni Moses sa mga Israelites before they entered the promised land, Deuteronomy 4:5 says, "See, I have taught you statutes and judgment, just as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should do thus in the land where you are entering to possess." Sabi ng verse 6, so keep and do them, meaning apply them. Huwag mo lang alamin pero intindihin mo paano ginagamit o ina-apply. Then act on it. Keep and do them. And sabi ng verse 6, for that is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the people who will hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Deuteronomy 4:7 says, for what great nation is there that has a God so near to it as is the Lord our God wherever we call on Him? Friends, I want you to be faithful, but I also need you to be sensible. Be wise in the daily issues of life. I don't know what religion you follow or what faith you have. Hindi importante sa akin yon. Kasi during the time of Moses, wala namang religion. Even the time of Jesus, he did not start a church. He just asked people, follow me. And I wish that you would be wise enough to follow the instructions, the book of the law, the Torah, or the Bible. I hope you enjoyed your lesson today. Sana natulungan kita mas gumanda buhay mo. In your small group, you may want to discuss the following questions. Are you knowledgeable or wise? Anong pinagkaiba nito? What books do you use to become sensible and wise? And what changes do you plan to do in response to Joshua 1:8? I hope you will enjoy your small group discussions and God bless you.